Sorry, don't know what I was doing there, lads. Hello and welcome to the Red Reaction with the LFC Daytrippers. This is a bit of an impromptu show, I'm going to be honest, simply because I forgot all about it. And I went out and played 9 holes of golf this morning, came back for the match, sitting there handy at about 5-2, and then went, oh, bollocks, completely forgot the post-match show. So me and Keith are with you, and what a show to come into. Crystal Palace 0, Liverpool 7. And you know what? It's Keith. We were going into this when we spoke about it on the Friday forecast last night, and we were kind of going, Palace will give us problems. You know, can we deal with this? Who will play? Will we go strong? Joe from Leeds TV, shame on him, had it down as a 2-2 draw. Even the Palace fan Harvey on us had Liverpool to edge it, and me and Chris were about the same at 3-1. I think we went with, but that today is. And I hate going way too high or way too low, but that for me, Keith, is an absolute statement.
It is. It was excellent. You know, it was one of them games, Gav, where listening to commentary, they were making out like, you know, Palace had a lot of chances. Palace had no chances. They had a few breakaways, but didn't really do anything with it. Liverpool, I thought, were amazing today. The thing I'd say about that, we got a 7-goal haul, 1 goal. Salah's header was the only sort of scabbier. Everything else were cracking goals. Some absolute cracking goals in that game today. 6 beauties. It was a great performance. Great day.
It was a brilliant performance, and like, just to go back to the start, like, you know, Minamino comes in for Salah, Keita comes in for Curtis Jones, and I was a bit surprised by that because Wijnaldum just keeps fucking playing football, and you know, Matip of course comes in as well, doesn't he? And you're kind of going, I was quite happy with that, Keith. I thought, they're decent changes. I wanted to see something out of Keita. I wanted to see something out of Minamino. And I think, in fairness, we did.
Oh, 100%. 100%. I mean, look, obviously, Minamino gets a goal. Lovely goal. Thought he played well as well. I thought he was industrious. He was getting around. He done really well. I thought Keita done well as well. You know, this is the biggest frustration I think a lot of people have, is that our backup... There's Chris. That our backup players are never there when we need them. Well, we got 2 lads into the team today, and I thought they both done well, and it showed. You know, with guys coming back, we've seen Oxlade-Chamberlain coming on then in the second half. You know, getting bodies back will be key for us in this league. This league is absolute muck. Do you know what I mean? This league is garbage, and we're getting bodies back now at the right time to start making the run. I think the break that we're going to need. I think this set us up great today. Banana skin, everyone says it. Istanbul, tricky place to go. We win every bleeding year there now. Do you know what I mean? We win every year there, and hopefully that'll put to bed some of that nonsense about Istanbul and all that other shit. 7-0. It's a hell of a win.
It is a hell of a win, and to be honest, like, I know what you're saying, BT. You're trying to make out that Palace had this, and Palace had, like you said, a couple of breakaways, a couple of nervy moments from Liverpool that kind of helped them. Fabinho misjudges a header at one stage, and they kind of get away. And there's a few bits and pieces, but overall, they looked so susceptible to Liverpool just tearing through them. You know, I think the Firmino goal at 3-0 is an absolute the epitome of how open they were and how susceptible they were to Liverpool taking them asunder, pulling them asunder, if they really needed to. Chris, we're only doing a show for 10 minutes, 15 minutes or so it's going to take us a while to get through these goals, but let's go from the start. And Minamino, he's in the side, and I know from our WhatsApp group that we were saying, we need to see something, lads, we need to see something from this fella. You know, people questioning his physicality in the game, but he's in there now today. He's playing in Mo Salah's position, and it's a brilliant start. It's a brilliant ball into the box. Mane takes control of it. The commentary I'm making out, he gets a bit lucky. I think it's a good touch, and Klein sells himself, but it's a fabulous finish, Chris, isn't it?
Yeah, the touch makes it. You know, when you watch the replay of it, the little touch just to take it past the defender, and it's a very confident finish. And you can see with Minamino, look, we don't know the lads, we don't know if this is true or not, but it did look like as soon as that goal went in, an absolute weight was lifted off him. Because after that, he was more confident with his touches. He was a bit more aggressive in the tackle, and you know, he was picking passes out that he hasn't been doing. And he's always had the work rate, but it's just these extra little bits. So I was made up for him. So I thought that's probably what he needs, and also it's probably good for him that he got the first goal in a 7-0, not like the icing on the cake goal, which is nice.
Good point.
It's more of a I got the opener, so I got the ball rolling, and I do think for attacking players, it's getting a key goal, not getting a stats pack a goal, if you know what I mean. But they're nice to get. But we can now go, well, if Minamino plays, he scored the opener of the last game. So if he starts again, you go, well, he might do it again. So, which is great to see. And I was made up with his goal. Took it really, really well.
Yeah, he did. Ray Heffernan says, for context, our closest rivals drew 1-1 with that shower last weekend at Selhurst Park. And Barry Donovan says, champions performance, the chasing pack must be miserable after watching that up the Reds. I think it is a huge psychological thing because Liverpool will go into Christmas top of the table and they're sitting back now with a 6-day rest. Am I right? 7 days. 7 days rest. And I get very confused at Christmas, just to let you know and pre-warn you before we get into next week. But we're sitting back now with a 7-day rest going, well, we've done our job, but what have you got? And that's to Man City, that's to Manchester United, Chelsea, Spurs, Leicester, all of them. And, Leicester play Spurs and stuff like that. So it's a really good one. David Walsh says 8 days. Is it 8 days?
8 days, yeah.
27th, we don't play.
Wow. I just, when you just, Christmas is on the Friday, we have to be playing Saturday, come on, Sunday, but it's obviously not happening. Let me see.
Plus a lot of our rivals are playing midweek in the Carabao Cup as well.
Yeah, that's true as well.
City, Chelsea, Spurs, they've all got games midweek, so it's going to help us.
Kev O'Sullivan says, if your Colossus bet is still running, I'd be seriously impressed. Liverpool weren't part of the syndicate this week. And there's about 15 minutes to sign up and get involved in that. I haven't even checked if it's ready to rock or not. But when we go 1-0 up, Keith, you're thinking great start, because we talked, Chris absolutely nailed it last night. He said we want to come out and get at this. We want to make it a game where it's over at half time, and you were spot on. I don't think you've seen it as 3-0 at half time and 7-0 at the end, Chris. You were right in what you're saying. A quick start, don't let them get into it. They do get into it though, don't they, Keith? For 15 minutes or so before Mane gets the second, there is those not clear-cut chances, but they're putting a little bit of pressure on us, and we're making a few mistakes, and you're thinking, need a second one here. Absolutely need a second one.
Yeah, it shows the difference, but between Fulham last week, when we couldn't get we let Fulham into the game. We didn't let Palace into it today. They had a few breaks, but they didn't work Alisson. Do you know what I mean? Like, there was no you expect, in fairness, you expect Palace to be good on the counter-attack with the players they have, with Eze, with Zaha, with Oyu. They're going to be good when they break, and they had a few breakaways, but nothing came of it. I thought Fabinho was excellent at the back in these breaks. Oyu does him on one of them when he pulls it back, you know what I mean? But I thought he marshalled it well, we never looked under pressure, is what I'm trying to say. Even though Palace did have a few breaks, they never looked like really scoring, in my opinion, today. I think it was just to score, as Chris said, to get Minamino off the mark, and to get it in the second minute settles his nerves, settles their nerves, and it was just a sign for things to come, because we've seen other players that could have done with goals getting goals as well, and it just set us up lovely, you know what I mean? But Palace, they didn't pose as much a threat as I thought they would. I know he's Captain Obvious when you're after winning 7-0, but for the players they have, and on the back, as was said, they drew Spurs 1-1 last week. Crest of a wave sort of thing. The no fans is probably after killing them, because I think that helped them against Spurs.
Yeah.
But we just got on with our business, and some of the comments were like, well, it wasn't a 3-0. Palace didn't deserve to be 3-0 down. Liverpool were ruthless. Took them apart.
And do you know what? That's probably the biggest thing for me. I know it's a 7-0 scoreline. I don't think Liverpool were at their absolute best, but they were clinical. And we've spoken so many times across this season in particular where you go, we've won that, but Jesus, we missed some chances, and there's just that little bit of the clinical touch you're looking for is not quite there, but it most certainly was today. Avo says the fact that Taki scores the first goal and the celebrations from the team, which included him, was great. He celebrated every goal after that. Great for his confidence. That's a good point as well, because we have spoken before about he seems a bit on the outside. He didn't seem that at all today. That was a real leading from the front, getting the first goal, and there'd be a lot of pats on the back for him today to say, look, you got us going, you got the early goal, and it makes him feel much more part of it. And I do believe that him being part of this team and part of this group and feeling that, I think, is a massive thing for him. But we get the second one. Mane's in my fancy team. I was fucking delighted. An assist at the start, but the second goal is a quality goal. It's a lovely little touch by Firmino. It's a lovely touch by Mane to get him out and defend that, and then he's just like, it's just a rootless finish. Bang, no messing, no placing, just bang. And Chris, I was delighted with that because I thought that settled the game. I thought Palace have their 15 minutes, and I think this settles it because it leaves them so susceptible to us now.
Yeah, it does. It was perfect for us because it was the two players that were going needs a goal. Like Salah, I think is it 9 games since Manny last scored, which is ridiculous. For a player that good, it's very rare. But I mean, the finish was a bit Jota against Atalanta. It was just an instant bang hit. No one's stopping that. And I think I was talking to my friends in WhatsApp. We were like, I always feel once Liverpool get a 2-goal lead, you're normally pretty secure then, because it has happened. But under Klopp in recent years, it's pretty rare once Liverpool get a 2-goal lead that they don't see it out. So it was perfect. So you watch the thing, this is like the perfect day. We're 2-0 up, and our two probably slight concern players in terms of form have both got goals now. Well, happy days. What more can you want? Obviously, a lot more it turned out to be. But yeah, I was made up thinking it was just like, this is a great start to a 12:30.
Yeah, and as someone says there, it's a different buzz when you win early on a Saturday. It is. It gives you that whole weekend to laud it over people. It's deadly. Getting on to
pressure on the others as well, Gav. That's another thing, forgetting about it. It makes us feel great, put the pep in their step. But you're looking now, City are kicking off at 3 o'clock, and they know, right, them bastards after winning 7-0.
Are we 11 points clear of them?
So,
I know they're not our business, but still, the others will all be looking at it and they be saying, "Fucking hell!"
To be honest, we need a City win, don't we? Because Southampton are probably the closer rival.
Yeah,
a little draw there will do me, to be honest. But like, we're trying to get through the goals as quick as we can. We promise. But I'm wondering, Keith, you say like it puts pressure on others. I'm wondering, is it us? What it does to us is way more important than what pressure it puts on others. And what I mean by that is, it's just Liverpool feel to me like they needed to get something, have a performance and a win like that to get it out of their system. Because we've saying it for ages, someone's getting a hiding, and now someone has got a hiding. Is it one of those where Liverpool just go, it's kind of a watershed moment, I suppose, where look, Gomez, Van Dijk, Thiago's on the way back, but you still have players out and stuff like that. It's a real case of we're fully adapted now to what our job is, and this is proven it today. I think that might be the case. David Walsh, best tagline to the tour goal I've seen in the chat. He says the best 1-2 ever today between Robbo and Bobby.
Brilliant.
Keith, it's in our half. Palace are looking slightly threatening. I think Trent just nips in, gives it to Firmino, who plays it out wide to Robbo. Robbo tears down the wing, puts it in the box. Firmino just takes a brilliant touch. And then it's the second touch is just outrageous, the finish. It's absolutely outrageous. And it's a guy for me, Keith, that just looks like he's back. He's absolutely back for me.
This is the key thing for me in the whole, we spoke about Minamino needing a goal and Mane needing a goal because of goal droughts. Bobby got his goal, the winning goal the other night, and we know Bobby scores in sports. But the nature of his goals today, that first goal was excellent because it's Bobby who starts. As you say, Bobby gets the ball, plays a great ball out, gets into the box. Great ball in by Robbo, but the touch by Bobby and then the roll, the outside of the foot sort of roll past. And let's not forget, no one will mention this, Vincent Guaita was man of the match, game of his life last week against Spurs.
2 brilliant saves.
This is the keeper in form. Yeah. And Bobby just rolled it in. It was absolutely brilliant. But that's a confidence thing with Bobby that we're hoping now, if we can get him through the Christmas period, Bobby firing, tell you that's what we need. That's the boost we need to our front line.
Yeah, absolutely. Zed Malik says problem for the rivals. Mane is back, Bobby's back, Salah on 16 goals for the season. Ouch. You'll never walk alone. And Kev O'Sullivan says, great point, Zed. Salah has quietly gone top of the scoring chart. And of course, we're all waiting on Thiago to rock up and start causing absolute havoc as well on this league as we go on.
Just in the build up to the third goal, the key moment was probably Trent, who wasn't having the best start, was it Van Arnold. That's it. I can't say his name. Squares up to him, and he didn't do what Pepe did. He was goading him to just do a little nudge, and he's off.
He actually backed his head away.
He was very clever, backed his head away, and then the ball fell. So I thought he's going to rattle him here, and he's just a clever touch, flicked it out to Robson, which again shows with Trent that little bit of maturity that's building into his game because he's still a young player, especially after I would say probably a shaky first half for him. By his standards. So that was a little maturity bit, which is thinking with some of our rivals, like Arsenal, which I know we take the mick out of. That's what they don't have.
No.
That Van Gaal thing would have been a thing then for 10 minutes of one of them either headbutting him or trying to take him out. And they laughed it off, which I thought was good.
Yeah, John Ad Can says the quality of finishing was like the game versus Atalanta in Bergamo. It was clinical. It really, really was. And we go into half time 3-0 up, and you're thinking great. And I'm already thinking, who we resting, who we taking off, who we putting on, who we getting game time for. Can we get, the Ox was the one I was thinking in particular. But I genuinely want to see Curtis Jones on, because I thought, if we're going to stroll this, I want to see Curtis Jones strolling with it. He deserves it. But into the second half, and Chris, I'll stay with you. Again, Liverpool are neat and tidy around Palace's box. It gets switched out to Trent. It looks like it reminded me a bit, Leicester away last season, where it's put on a play for him. Is he going to strike one pure? But he doesn't. And you actually hear the call, I think, from Hendo on the commentary, and it's just lay back into him. And someone says there, it's like watching Gerrard strike one now. Before everyone gets up in arms and goes, you can't compare them. It was very like Gerrard, that inside of the foot, curling away from the goalkeeper. And Chris, I was delighted because I thought Henderson was really good. I thought all three midfielders were, actually.
Yeah, I was too. It was a similar finish to what he did away at Brighton.
Yes.
You'll probably, if anything with Henderson, you'll probably not start to say now, you probably should be doing that a little bit more, because he's definitely got the ability to do it. But yeah, I know what you mean about the Gerrard one. It's that whip. And you could just watch the keep thinking it's always curling away from you. You're just hoping it curls in enough before it goes wide of the goal. But it was great. Fair play to Keita, who I have been critical of. The pass to Trent's sublime. And again, Keita, in fairness to him, passing wise, it was he was brilliant second half. First half, although his passing prep wasn't the level you would expect, his off the ball work was fantastic. He was breaking up. His cover work for Robbo against Eze and Schlupp was really, really good. So, again, another positive for us, which was Keita coming back. Okay, he won't get goals or assists or highlight reels, but actually he was part of the team function. And
that's the big thing for me. That's the big thing for me, because... And look, I'm probably guilty of it as much as anyone else. I'm looking for Keita to break lines, beat players, assist. Can he get in the box? Can he score? But when you watch Wijnaldum, Henderson and Jones over the last couple of games, where they've been very good, they've been creative, they've worked hard, they've been functional, as the word is always thrown around, and they've led us to some very good results. I just want the Keita to come in and do that today. Don't worry about assists, don't worry about goals. If you function in that midfield the way the rest of them function, you'd be absolutely fine. And in fairness to him, he functioned extremely well. I thought maybe Wijnaldum was a bit quiet in the game, but you have to hold your hands up and go, listen, that fella just, I don't know. I don't know what to say about him anymore, because I just think it's madness the amount of football he's playing. But it's a really good goal. And Keith, I want to move on to probably the one kind of, I don't know if it's a negative talking point, I really don't, but Salah gets taken off. Salah comes on for Mane on 57 minutes, and Mane doesn't look happy about it. No. What's your reading on this? Because to me, I think it's the right change. It's nearly on an hour. It's, we have the game won, we're 4-0 up. Mane has been a little bit off form and played a lot of football. I don't see the issue.
I don't see the issue, but look, it's a forward player that probably could sniff that there was going to be chances in that game. He has a chance just before he comes off. I think it's just a little bit of frustration. I don't read too much into it.
I'll be interested. It'd be interesting if anyone does, because when Salah had the hump at Brighton, it was
but
everyone had the hump for it. Everyone had the hump with him. It's the same reaction.
It's the thing about the Salah one. The difference with the Salah one was it sort of, he threw a little bit of a strop at Klopp going by. Now Mane wasn't exactly bleeding, hugging him either. You know what I mean? But it will be interesting. Look. It's the right thing to do, whether they like it or not. You know what I mean? Like it was 4-0 at that point. We don't need to be taking any unnecessary risks. Sadio got a goal, just come off. They always say you don't want to see them happy to come off. You don't want to see them reacting like that either. But
Klopp did say he thought. I think Manny was a bit annoyed the time he got talking. So I reckon there was like a pre-agreed. You're getting an hour.
Yeah.
Because it was pre the hour, I think he was like, it's 5 minutes. I could probably get another goal here. What are you taking me off for? But
you see, I've no. If he's upset, I've no issue. If he's genuinely upset, I've no issue with it. Because if you look back last season, the way at Burnley, he gets upset because Salah doesn't pass the ball to him. Then he's taken off and they're all laughing at him at the bench. Of course, it's the time when the whole side eyes from Firmino going up the tunnel happens, isn't it? And stuff like that. Yeah, and they're taking the piss out of him, and they actually do take the piss out of him afterwards. And it's all forgotten, but at full time, it's fine, or in the dressing room anyway. So I have no issue with that. And they're the sort of group that if Mane did kick off, well, I was told an hour to go, listen, piss off. We won the game. You're not injured. You got a goal. Stop worrying. It's fine. And I don't see. And like Barry Donovan says there, it shows how hungry Mane and Salah for goals. It's good to see, absolutely, because it's a hunger there. They're not settling. You could have settled at 4-0 and went, yeah, that's fine. But there's a hunger there, and I love to see it. Yeah. Let me see. DK says we just won 7-0. I bet Mane is a bit frustrated, but very happy with the result. He's not an egomaniac like Ronaldo or Kane, and will put the team first and get over it. He absolutely will. There's no doubt that they're leaving Selhurst Park now, and they're like, everything's game ball and roll on West Brom, isn't it? But I just think it's brilliant, and Salah comes on, and there was talk beforehand, Salah's being dropped, and he's done an interview with Spanish newspapers and stuff like that, so it's all kicking off about him. But I don't see the issue. I don't, like, he's done an interview. I haven't read the context of that interview, I'm being honest, and maybe there's more to it than just never say never about Real and Barca.
I've seen the video. He's asked outright. So he's sort of asked about them, and he I think it catches him off guard, and he goes, well, you never say never because they're great clubs. But his next sentence is, but I'm concentrating on winning the leagues and Champions League with Liverpool. I want to break records at Liverpool. So if you were a positive person, you could spin that as Salah's hinted he wants a new contract, but everyone wants to go with Salah's hinted he wants to leave. I mean, the other thing is, not being rude, I don't know what they're going to pay for it with. Is it going to be like 18 swap players to get him? Because they can't afford him.
Exactly. And you don't have anyone that you take in exchange. For me, anyway. But look, it's one of those. Hopefully it doesn't rumble on, because Salah comes on 57. Now Firmino makes a 5 on 68 minutes, and he's assisted by Mohamed Salah. It's a brilliant goal, and you know something, it's not one you see often for Firmino. It's a Mane finish. You know, that one where he just draws the keeper and the little dink. But I loved it. I loved it from Firmino. It rounded off the day for me, Keith. It rounded off Firmino's day where I went, oh yeah, he's on this, and it's a sublime touch for the first and finish. The second one, he's drawing the goalkeeper and just dinking him, and you can just see Palace are just like, fuck this.
Yeah. It's actually my favourite goal of the day, to be honest. I'm a huge Bobby Firmino fan, and look, he goes through the sticky phase, and I'll defend him and say it's off the ball play, blah blah blah. But when you see a confident Firmino, it really makes the team home, and that's confidence today. He got the winner against Spurs, he got the first goal today, and then that second one, it's a tough finish. It's not. He's got the defender is pulling at him, the keeper is closing down, he's moving away from goal. And the little clip over the top, it was just absolute confidence. And that's what I love out of Bobby. I think Bobby has that in his locker all the time. And if we got that on a more consistent level, I think we steamroll this league. If we have that now going ahead, we steamroll everybody. And it make me confident for Europe and the league.
Well, to be honest with you, like, you look at it and you think to yourself, Mane's looking hungry, Salah's looking hungry, Firmino's looking back on it. Jota is meant to be progressing well with this knee injury, so you're probably looking a month's time. If can Keita come in and function and gives backup to the likes of, not backup, I don't want people going, he's not backup, but what I mean is he's another body in there along with Henderson, Wijnaldum, Jones. Not for Fabinho. THIAGO, of course, is coming back. So if this all aligns well, Ox, of course, as well. But if this aligns so well, you are looking going really. Despite missing Van Dijk and Gomez, it's a really strong position to be in come the turn of the new year. Warren Vandergift says, we are absolutely brilliant today. Now let's give Big Sam a good hiding and leave him the leftover gravy to drink. Yes, I'm all over that. I like that. But it is a fantastic goal, and Palace heads were dropping, but I think it was so simple in the way it was done and made look so easy that Palace were just like, I'm not having this. Curtis Jones immediately comes on. Wijnaldum, surprisingly, is given a 21-minute reprieve on 69 minutes, so he doesn't have to play the whole game. And Oxlade-Chamberlain, of course, gets the last 15 minutes for Roberto Firmino. And in those last 15 minutes, Mo Salah gets 2 goals. Chris, the first one would you put it down as a predatory goal? He's looking for the knockdown off Matip. He's in a proper striker's position, and it's a good finish.
It is, yeah. I was trying to picture it because that many. It is, yeah. He just looks for the knockdown. It was, Matip again with a rare assist. Now in my fantasy team with my mates, I've got Matip and Salah, so I was doing cartwheels. I've got clean sheet and assist. I'm made up. But yeah, good finish, and it's what Salah's good at. Instinctive finishes, even headers. He's brilliant at that. The criticism we've had of Salah, Keith and I probably had the similar criticism, is when he's had time to think is when you're worried about it. Instinctive stuff, I never worry about. So if it's instinctive, it's going in.
He's one of the best in the business at it.
He is. It's when he has too much time to think. I think he's like, which club do I use to finish this as your golfing reference? Yeah. So I thought it was a lovely finish. Keeper, no chance. And I thought, again, Curtis Jones, when he came on, the best way to describe this, it was seamless. You didn't even notice he'd come on. As in, there's no drop-off. There's no, kamikaze runs, I'm going to get my goal. It was just simple, mature, did what the team wanted, which again is credit for lad. He's just again coming part of the function. But yes, Salah's goal, lovely header. Guita, no chance. And to be fair, he's a good keeper. He does make some. I've seen him make some really good saves. So again, put it where it was, he's got no chance.
Yeah, it was. Go on, Keith.
No, I was just going to say, I didn't think it was the best header from Salah, but it was just instinctive. He just sort of seen it and he headed it. And I think with his feet, where he was going one way and he couldn't change his feet, there was enough power on it by Salah. But Chris is spot on. I agree with you 100% there, Chris. I think when he's instinctive, Salah is amazing, and it just goes to show. And when I say instinctive, I don't just mean like that, or the ball drops and he hits it. His second goal's a beaut as well. It's when he's put through running and has time. That's when I think he usually sort of makes maybe not the right decision all the time, but I thought he looked sharp when he came on. The Bobby assist and then to get the 2 goals, I thought it was a great cameo by Mo.
Yeah, and that's what it's all about. Ian McLaughlin says he's delighted to see Ox back. Here's hoping he gets a run now and stays injury free. Absolutely, you want him. You need Katie, you need Thiago, you need the 3 lads up front on form. You need Minamino chipping in. You need Jota back. We know about Gomez and Van Dijk, so park that for a minute. But the more bodies we have, the better, because when you look at this, it is going to be survival of the fittest this season. I genuinely believe that if you can get enough players back at the right time, you're absolutely in it all the way to the end for me. Harley Freerider says, love Sadio's reaction to being subbed, shows how much he wants to play and score. Yeah, I've no issue with it whatsoever, hasn't it?
It is when I saw it. I stepped up the room thinking, let's go over this, go get a drink. And I just heard Glenn Huddle and the other guy going mental about it. What's happened here to us? And then saw the replay. So yeah, it's very bit like his Chelsea one, probably not as much power, but yeah, he doesn't do that as much. He used to do that quite a lot in his first season, bend it from that sort of distant top corner. That's it. He seems to have took that out of his game a little bit, been a bit more of a runner and finisher. Look, can't criticise, it's working, but as confident Salah does that, that's when Salah's confident. Bit like Firmino with his chip finish, that bent finish by Salah, that's when his confidence is at its peak. So it was just perfect icing on the cake. I mean, the only thing that would have made that game perfect probably would have been a Chamberlain goal if you're being greedy. Yeah, but but let's be honest. I mean, the other big thing is now that's wiped out the Villa result. Yeah. To concede 7 at Villa.
Yeah, and the horror show with that jersey as well.
Yeah. So it takes it out. So now you've walked out also 4 points, best goal difference now in the league compared to Spurs. Which considering we had that horror show at Villa, it's again another positive for us to look at, and it's going in the right direction. And especially the talk of, is it Shaq and Milner are back in training next week?
Yeah,
and then and Thiago is
which is fucking great.
And Thiago's on imminent. So so you could go into January with only the 2 centre backs and Jota missing.
And Jota nearly back. Dan J says he genuinely thinks the late Spurs win the FIFA Best Awards, and maybe the Salah interview had a big impact on us today. Maybe so. Maybe. And then there is a question here. Adija 007 says, do you think Firmino should stay at centre back or move into midfield when everyone is fit? He's a centre half until the end of the season for me. I agree. I don't think he's going to move away out of centre half because the 2 centre halves won't be back. So he's definitely centre half. It will be Fabinho and Matip, or Fabinho and whoever. You just want Fabinho to remain there. And the biggest thing, it's probably one of the biggest things this season, is Fabinho stays fit for the whole season.
Yeah.
I think a lot rests on him. Yeah, I think a lot rests on him. The rest, James reckons the rest of the league will be demoralised by today's result. Well, it won't have gone down well. But the goal difference is plus 17 now, says Kev O'Sullivan. So that's plus 17 after 14 games, is it? 14?
Yeah.
14.
I think Spurs is plus 17 at the moment. They're the next best.
Yeah. Okay.
And everyone's raving about how they're doing. So
Yeah, so there you go. Man City and Southampton have just kicked off in the last couple of minutes, so we're going to get out of your way and let you watch that. But before we go, lads, man of the match. Keith.
Playing a hard one, isn't it? It's a hard one. I'm going for Bobby. Yeah. I thought Bobby was electric today.
Okay, Bobby, fair show. Chris, who are you having?
I think Keith's right. I think Bobby is the right answer, but I think Firmino deserves a shout out for the first half because I think he did. I know Palace have a lot of chances, but I think that was more down to his position in play and cutting a lot out at the key moments. But I still think you've got to give it Bobby. You know, two goals and they were at the key times for us. So I'd give it to Bobby.
Yeah, a couple in there saying Bobby. Emmett says Bobby man of the match. Kieran B says Bobby. Emma Kavanagh says we're plus 17. Spurs are currently plus 13 in the goal difference standings. So look, it's been a bit of an impromptu one. That was my fault. I'm sorry I didn't let people know, and I won't do it again, I promise. But look, that's been your red reaction. Liverpool have gone to Crystal Palace and Selhurst Park and beaten Crystal Palace by 7-0. Goals all over the place. Ox makes a return, Keita makes a return, Minamino's on it, Fabinho was excellent, Firmino was on it, Mane's upset, but look, he's scoring goals, and Salah jumps on for half an hour and starts banging assists and goals everywhere as well. It's been really good. We're trying to get ourselves to 8,000 subs, so if you're watching and you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. Please hit the like button before you leave, or right now, or before you leave, whatever you want. Hit the like button as well, and look, it's all good. That's it. That's about it. Keith, it's been a pleasure. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. And we'll talk to you very, very soon. Chris, enjoy the rest of your weekend. Thanks for hopping on. Your tree is looking splendid, by the way. And
cheers for that.
Enjoy the rest of your weekend, my friend.
Thanks for having me on, mate.
Good stuff. That has been the red reaction. Liverpool have gone 6 points clear. The goal difference were just flying, and loads of lads have to come back over and out.